Okay, so in this video I will be introducing the UNC 12 probe. It may be hard to see, so bear with me. We want to use this to measure lesions, assess bleeding, calculate the cal, measure width of attached gingiva and recession. This is a single-ended instrument and it has a single working end. This would be the handle, we have the shank, and then over here, as you see, there are black lines. So we have to measure, each black line is used to measure. So we have one, is the one black line, 2, 3, and then as you can see there is a thicker black stripe. At the bottom of that would be 4, and once we cover that in the gingiva, then that would be measured at 5. And then you would do the next one, 6, 7, 8, same thing, bottom 9, top 10. Alright. And so I'm going to show you how we use this instrument. So there is a working order towards this. So you want to start at 1, and we would do buckle all the way to the other side. We would do to 16, and then we would go from 16 palatal all the way around back to 1, and then we would use it from 13 buckle again, 32 all the way around to 17, and then we would go 17 lingual all the way back around to 32. So I am going to show you how to use this. We want to still use it with a light grasp in the C shaped, and we still want to use the fulcrum, so we would be fulcruming up. You want to start, when you start on 1, at the distal line angle, and you want to use the walking method. So you would walk it, and of course we would have the cheek in this aspect, so it may be a little different. But you want to keep it towards the apex of the tooth, and then once you get to the middle, mine is getting stuck, you want to point it towards. You want to be about a 10 to 15 angle, and this would be on any other tooth interproximally, and you want to use the highest measurement when you're walking it. So I would make sure that I know where my lines are, so I know I'm already in 1, 2, I'm about a 2 there, so you want to walk it back and make sure, but see I can go 3 here, and then you want to measure at the midline what would be the highest, so that looks like a 3, and then once we get in, again you want to be 10 to 15, and you want to put it, I'm exiting a little just to make this more seen, you want to be at that 10 to 15 angle. It may be uncomfortable for the patient, but we want to get that accurate reading, and then you can walk it back. So we would do the same, distal line angle, so I would say that's about a 3. And if we were doing this on a patient, we would like to see that light blanching so that we know that we are in. And again, walk. And we, to 10 to 15. And we can walk it back if you would like. Now in between this, you can remember measurements on each tooth and then stop and put them into your chart, or you can do about 3 teeth and just try to remember like 3, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, whatever the measurements may be. So we would do that from distal line angle, then walk it back towards the mesial. And now once we get to 9, we're going to change it up. So we did distal line angle to mesial. Now you're going to start the mesial line angle to mesial, walk it, and then we would do the distal. So you do distal to mesial all the way up until 9, and then you would do mesial to distal, and you would do that all the way to 16. And then we would start again in the inside at distal line angle. So we would put it in, keep it towards the tooth like the pizza slice, and then we'd go back interproximally like that, and we would do the same thing. So once we get to, so I'm trying to show you, okay. So once we get to 9, we still do, because if we're doing the working order, we're doing distal to mesial, distal to mesial. So then once we get here, distal to mesial, we would, at tooth number 8, start the mesial line angle. So we would be fulcruming. Now, obviously my fulcrum is probably not correct because I'm doing this completely opposite of the way we would be doing it. We would still want to walk it to mesial first. And we would read that once we get in. So let's say that's probably about a 2. And we would walk it back again. Excuse my fulcrum, but I'm just trying to show the camera and my viewers at home how we do it. And you would obviously measure the highest depth there. So I would say that's about a 3. And then we walk it distally into approximately 10 to 15 degrees. I'm going to go towards the tooth again, so that would be about a 2. And then the same, mesial, walk, 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 distal. Same thing, mesial, approximately, mid 1, distal. And that would be working order all the way towards tooth number 1. Goes for the mandible, distal line angle. You want to walk and then walk it back. And like I said, you want to make sure that it is blanching. So that would be about a 3 there. So I'd say like a 3, 2, 3. Again, this may be uncomfortable for the patient, especially interproximally, so just let them be aware. To let you know, there are some contraindications for this of when we would not use the probe. So if we have a mixed dentition for a patient, you do not want to use this. Also, if a patient is going through ortho, we do not want to use this only because the PDL is already a little bit swollen. The bone, everything is kind of out of whack because we are moving the teeth. Also, any adolescent, we do like a light assessment to see if they would need perio probing in a case that, their mouth is unhealthy. But for any other case, we would want to use this. And again, we can use this to measure the cal. Any intraoral ease-ins calculate the width of the attached gingiva and recession.